Hohem reached out to me to see whether I would be interested in shooting some cinematic content with a new gimbal, the iSteady V2. Now, there are plenty of videos and reviews on YouTube that go through every single detail in this gimbal. Myself, rather than giving you the same repackaged information, I'd rather show you what this gimbal can do. So what is so great about this gimbal? Well, the perfect gimbal doesn't exist, and this gimbal is not either. I thought it was another missed opportunity, another gimbal that has a bracket just behind the phone that makes it impossible for the phone to stay vertical. But what I really liked about this gimbal is the AI sensor, and we'll come to that in a minute. On the plus side, battery life is 9 hours, and that's more than enough, and you can use the gimbal as a power bank for your phone if you run out of battery, which is really helpful. And one thing that is really nice is the fact that the motors are really strong and they can take on the iPhone 12 Pro Max or any big phone without a problem, even if you use accessories like lenses or filters. I think that's fantastic. One thing that I really appreciate is the fact that they give you the ability to adjust their strength. So you can go from slow, medium and fast depending on what it is that you're filming. And if you set them to slow, trust me, they go really nice and smooth. And not only that, but you can also adjust the joystick strength. So again, you can go from slow, medium and large. And these adjustments are really great because we all use our gimbals in very different ways. So it's not the same someone doing some sports event and someone trying to do some cinematic footage where everything has to be like really slow. So in that regard, Hohem has done a really good job. And there are plenty of reviews already in YouTube that go in fine detail through every setting in the app and the gimbal itself. My review is a bit more practical. I want to actually use the gimbal and see what it can do for me. And this is where things get really interesting, because there are two features that I think that are fantastic. One is the size and weight. This gimbal is really compact and weighs almost nothing. I think it's under 250 grams. You can put it in your pocket, forget that you're there, take it anywhere. And yes, you get some limitations when you have a gimbal this small, but you get a lot of bang for your money. But what makes this gimbal special and stand out from anything in the competition is the AI sensor at the top. Honestly, it's gonna change the way you film and shoot your content, especially if you're a solo content creator. Because up until now, you'd be stuck with the static shots. And it's really intuitive and very good. With the AI tracker on this gimbal, and this is really nice, you can adjust the headroom level. So the gimbal will tilt slightly up or down depending on how much you want. And this is super helpful, and honestly it's a game changer. And what better way to showcase this amazing feature than creating a little sequence all by myself. It's gonna be nothing complex, it's just gonna be myself cycling in through this serpentine platform and then setting up a tripod and a camera just down here. Up until now, if you were creating content on your own, you were pretty much stuck to static shots, for the simple fact that, as far as I'm aware, you can't be in two places at the same time. So you are either in front of the camera or behind the camera moving it, but you can't be doing both at the same time. But with this gimbal, everything changes because it can track you up until 15 or 20 feet, and it does it really well, and that is a game changer. Let's see how we get on. Okay, so like I said, first shot, I'm gonna recreate me arriving to here. I'm gonna pretend that I'm arriving with my rucksack and all my camera equipment, and let's see what it looks like. That actually looks really good. Okay, so the idea here now is that I'll be cycling through here, and hopefully the gimbal will pick me up as I cycle through. So big hopefully, because I'm not sure it's gonna do it. So that's the idea. Let's see how it works out. We tell the AI to track us. Okay, so let's see how how this works. Let's see what it looks like. I'm not sure we got anything good. Actually, it's not bad. We get a little bit of movement, enough to see us through. That's good. This is now going to be a standard shot. There's not much tracking here, but you know, I still mount the phone backwards onto the gimbal so that I can actually use the rear lens on the iPhone and Filmic Pro. I'm sure that looked amazing. It's well, it's a very simple sequence, you know, make it sound like I am. Wait, we just turn this off. Some you know, mega movie. But anyway, now we're gonna go over there and take the first shot, which is me entering this sort of serpentine platform, whatever it is. Okay, so this next shot, the idea is to cycle through here, and the gimbal will pan as I enter the serpentine platform. That's the idea. Whether it will do it or not, we shall see. Okay, so hopefully this will work, and you should be able to see this through there, and it should be tracking me now. Okay, well, let's see. Right, let's check this out. Well, that's looking actually better than I thought. It's actually looking really good, you know. You know, actually I had a bit of a brainwave just now, and I think it will be much nicer if I do a bike gimbal shot rather than doing a whole range of static gimbal cutaway shots. Mostly because you get a sense of speed and the environment, and it will look really nice with this shot coming into this serpentine platform. I just need to make sure that I don't crash, because I usually like to have a chest mount and control the bike with both hands, but this one I'll be holding it with one hand. But you know, it shouldn't be that difficult. It's quite a good pavement. Anyway, let's see what it looks like. So I am now using the selfie lens to show you the difference between the face tracking and the AI tracking, and the difference. Because look what happens when I turn the face tracking, okay? Not that, that one. Okay, so automatically picks up my face, and it follows me really well. But look, the thing with these tracking things is that they always keep you in the middle of the frame, and they give you a lot of headroom, and it looks really, really unnatural. No, it's really smooth, I give you that, but it's very unnatural, and then you would have to punch in post and zoom in, and unless you are sort of a close-up, it just doesn't look natural. And if I was to go onto object tracking, I can tell it to follow my mouth or my nose, but it's still, again, it always keeps it in the middle of the frame, no matter what I do or where I go. Yeah. Also, the secret with all these tracking features is to move it slow, because if you move fast, the panning is a bit of a whip pan, and it just doesn't look natural. So you need to sort of be a bit slow. Now check out the difference with the AI tracking, okay? So we're gonna leave this. We are now gonna turn the AI sensor and we're gonna track it. And there you go, you see? Look how much nicer and better it all looks, okay? Because you can adjust the settings for the headroom. And it's as simple as come in here and you do this. You confirm this, and here you can tell it whether you want it so for instance, look, you see it changes how low you want it. So for instance, this one now will be probably a bit too much. Honestly, I think this is so nice. There's so many ideas. I'll be using it so much more often than I thought I would be, for the simple fact that introducing movement to your filming, if you are a solo content creator, is such a game changer. And I keep saying it, but it's because it is. I am so surprised and so amazed. This is really helpful. This gimbal, you might have your reservations, it might not do everything that you want it to do, it might be too limited, but the AI sensor, to me, it justifies buying it for the simple fact that I can do this. And it's almost like having a camera operator with me, when in actual fact it's just a gimbal and I can do whatever I want, whenever I want. Honestly, it's so nice. So what do I think about this gimbal then? Well, if you plan to use the AI sensor, I think this is a no-brainer. You're gonna get so much functionality and value for money. Honestly, there is nothing in the market that gets anywhere near close to this. It's really good, okay? If you plan to use the gimbal as a gimbal, it has a limited range, mostly the tilting range, and I have an issue with it personally, okay? I have a Fujitech G6 Max, and that gives me complete control over the camera movement. This one, you are limited to what you can do. If you already have another gimbal and you are happy to have another gimbal that is much smaller, for instance, the G6 Max is a really big gimbal for smartphones, and this one you can put it in your pocket and off you go. As a sort of a secondary gimbal, this will be, a really good compromise. But the AI tracking, that's what makes this gimbal special. Honestly, it's fantastic, and up until now there was nothing like this for content creators or solo content creators. So, do I recommend it? Yes. Will I be using it? Absolutely. Is it gonna replace my main gimbal? No, but I will still use it, and you've seen from the footage in this video, you can get some really good content as well. So you just have to find a way to fit this within your workflow. But this AI sensor is amazing. Now, things that I would like Hohem to improve this on. Well, yes, there is a few. What I would love, above all, is that they could find a way to lift the sensor and then just turn it so that you can use it whether you want to use the selfie lens or the real lenses. Because at the moment, I'm using the Filmic Pro app and I'm mounting the phone with the back lenses facing me, whereas normally you would have the selfie lens, and obviously that's a bit of a hassle, and I would love to just be able to twist the AI sensor and use it whether I want to use the front or the rear lenses. Whether that's possible or not, I don't know, but that would be a really big improvement. Another one is the ergonomics or the design of it. Having a bracket behind the mobile, it limits the tilting range quite dramatically. That would be a really, really good improvement. The app itself, I personally would only use it for time lapses. Everything else, because you can adjust manually on the gimbal itself, the modes and everything, I would probably use Filmic Pro all the time. Another thing that I would appreciate big time is that they allow the app to be used on a different phone, so you can remotely control the gimbal rather than having to use the app on the phone itself that is mounted on the gimbal. That would open up a whole new range of possibilities, and it would make this gimbal even more appealing than it already is. And with that being said, I hope you enjoyed this review and got something positive out of it. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Even better, smash that like button. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already or you just bumped onto it. At the end of this video, I'll leave a couple of the videos that I think might be of interest to you, and I'll see you in the next video.